Tony Dorsett just made occurs. Look at the center. Blocking on Tim Carney. And then a missed tackle. And the Cardinals have had trouble with that all year. They just haven't been tackling well. But Fitzgerald.
Injured on the play. All you folks who saw that ball game, pull up a chair and join us. We've got a dandy. Wayne Morris with Terry Metcalf out in front trying to block, and he was trying to block D.D. Lewis and couldn't quite do it. In comes Wayne Morris. There goes Metcalf. He's behind Roger Finney, and he got out to the 25. Remember, it was Roger Finney who threw the key block that opened up that 62-yard run by Metcalf.
Yep.
They swing a little to Morris. He's got Dobler in front of him, and he gets across the 40-yard line and goes out of bounds. Dobler was throwing the block at Bob Brunig and cleared him out of there. So this... Hart, with his back hanging close, goes deep down the left side, and it's intercepted and dropped. Cliff Harris had both hands on the ball. The pass intended for Mel Gray.
Offense, 66, holding.
I can't believe it.
Would you believe
Conrad
my
Dobler
man
holding?
That's my main man, Conrad. They caught him again.
5. And Hart, under heavy pressure, gets it away. Broken up, and broken up indeed by Benny Barnes, who just got a hand in front of Mel Gray.
77, offside.
That would be Big Bill Gregory. Right. The backs both stay in, and he goes for the bomb intended for Gray. Touchdown! He beat Mel Renfro. And there's a fight on the field.
We have got some action.
It is Harvey Martin being restrained, and down at the bottom there is even more. Oh, don't go wandering away. We got 9 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second quarter. The Cardinals 17 and the Cowboys 10. First and 10 on their own 25-yard line, trailing by a touchdown. On a play-action fake to Dorsett, Staubach throws to the left side to Robert Newhouse. Mark Arneson refuses to let go of those big thighs and brings him down. Mark, in a big chunk, starts to get his ball club moving. And Dorsett is the deep man behind Newhouse. And Dorsett with Newhouse blocking Worley, and Worley still couldn't make it, but there's a flag. Newhouse threw a block at Roger Worley.
What we got here?
Tight end on the right side. Staubach looking for Newhouse, but then throws down the left side, and it's complete to Drew Pearson. And Lee Nelson pushes him out of bounds.
What a beautifully run route that time. That's
the Dallas 35. Dorsett on a play-action fake to Dorsett. Staubach under some heat, gets it off to Newhouse, who stumbles across the 35, goes down at the 40. Billy Joe Dupree was trying to take Sensabaugh apart. Staubach to Dorsett at the 40-yard line. And Dorsett tied up by Niels, belted by Mike Dawson. Pearson on the wing. Here comes Dorsett. And he carries it out across the 50. Roger Worley came up to meet him along with Tim Carney. 2nd and 10. Newhouse staying in to block. He can't do it. John Zook came in and took his head off.
Yes, sir.
Number 63, John Zook out of Kansas. End spot. Pearson on the left, Butch Johnson on the right, and Staubach looking and running to the left side to Pearson, who is touched by Worley and then goes down. Roger Worley was unable to keep him, but he got a couple of teammates to come over to make sure he wouldn't get away. Blocked by Waters. They're coming. There's a flag, and there will be a penalty, I'm sure, on a fair catch by Butch Johnson. Let's see.
Well, they came after that punt. Barnes almost got it, too.
Someone received a warning, evidently, but no flag. And the crowd at the far end of the stadium thought the warning was more than that. Pearson left. Billy Joe Dupree in a flex on the left side. And it's to Preston Pearson at the 30, and a sandwich applied by Mark Arneson and Tim Carney, the linebackers. That's good enough for a first down, and he picked up 13 quicker than you can say Alex Hawkins. From the Cardinal 30. Staubach, a little lift to Pearson. He got away from Carney. Neal slowed him up at 23-yard line. Staubach under some heat and dumps it away, and they were going to eat him up. John Zook and Mike Dawson claiming that Staubach pulled the plug and just got rid of it. And Preston Pearson, Salty in there to block, a big tight end. Dawson ran around him, and the pass broken up, intended for Pearson. Guess who? Lee Nelson,
yes,
the
sir.
unknown soldier.
Right.
On the 30, so a 40-yard field goal attempt is good, and the Cowboys come scrambling back. We have 1 minute and 19 seconds to go to the half. The Cardinals lead cut to 4. The first half with the score, the Cardinals 17, the Cowboys 13.
I hope to see him come back out in the second half. We got too good a game. I don't want to see anybody ruin it.
We can take a look at some numbers as far as halftime, and in case you weren't with us, as you read those numbers, we'll fill you in. First of all, Jim Bakken kicked a 32-yard field goal. The big play was a 42-yard pass penalty to set it up. However, the Cowboys came back a 29-yard field goal from Efren Herrera. Then Terry Metcalf in the first quarter ran 62 yards for a touchdown. Bakken converted. But in the second quarter, Anthony Dorsett ran 77 yards for a touchdown. Herrera converted. Then a 60-yard pass play from Jim Hart to Mel Gray, who caught it in front of Mel Renfro for the touchdown. And finally, in the second quarter, Efren Herrera kicked a 40-yard field goal. So you're up to date on the scoring plays. The Cardinals leading the Cowboys 17-13 at halftime. All right, Bakken gets it up in the air and down the middle. It's time to Butch Johnson on the 10. And he gives to Billy Joe Dupree at the 20 on a reverse. And Dupree is going to be driven out of bounds by Steve Jones at the 45-yard line. Drew Pearson breaking to the left. That's Robert Newhouse. And Newhouse tripped just as Leo Nelson was coming up off a block by Donovan. And Nelson knocked him out. That's a tough play because it was a good block by Pat Donovan. Angeles. 2nd and 4 from the 49. Newhouse and Preston Pearson. Preston in motion to the right. And as a flip back to Newhouse, he has Donovan out in front of him. And he's still on his feet as he gets across the 35-yard line. And the one man to get him was Charlie Davis. Play action fake to Pearson. Pressure over the middle to Butch Johnson. And it's complete. And it was Lee Nelson who had him by the jersey, number 38. And finally he went down. But Butch Johnson, second-year man out of the University of California of Riverside. Pitch back to Preston Pearson. And he fights his way down to the 15-yard line. He's probably got 1.5 yards to go for a first down. Arneson and Davis making the tackle. 3rd and 2 from the 16. Play action fake to Newhouse and a flip to Preston Pearson. Mike Sensabaugh tackles him, and the ball is loose and picked up by Mark Arneson. And Cardinals have recovered on the 15-yard line.
Would you believe?
And Richards left, Drew Pearson right. Preston Pearson, deep man out of the eye. And here comes Preston. Arneson can't hold him. Sensabaugh can't get him, and Niels runs him out of bounds. Here. Now it's 2nd and 1 from the 19. Second man, Preston Pearson. And he's hit by Kenny Reeves and Mark Arneson and dropped as he crossed the 25-yard line. Butch Johnson in a slot right. And Staubach on a deep fade gets away from Dawson, gets away from Carney, got away from Davis, and is finally caught before he could get to the 40 by Mark Arneson. 38-yard line. Staubach to Robert Newhouse, who hesitates, runs around Dawson, gets across midfield, and is dragged down at the 45-yard line. Arneson pulled him down, and Dawson, who was furious that he had escaped him, and Mike, big number 73, finally chased him and got a little of him from behind. 5-yard line. Play action fake to Preston Pearson. Staubach to his big tight end, Billy Joe Dupree, and Mike Arneson just cuts the legs out from underneath him. 42. Drew Pearson in motion left. Staubach throwing to Pearson. It's complete, and he's knocked out of bounds by Lee Nelson. He got inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. 33-yard line. Staubach on a quick one to the right side to Drew Pearson, and Lee Nelson knocks him out of there. And Randy White comes over to make sure Lee Nelson doesn't try to rough his man up again. And Lee says, excuse me, I'll leave. Pride of Guadalajara will try and kick it through, and then Dallas would be trailing by 1. It's up. It is good.
Hey.
Boy, what a leg. Efren Herrera, 5'9", 190 out of UCLA. Makes it even closer. 5:29 in the third quarter. There you have it. From midfield. Almost a mix-up in the backfield. Kyle just missed him, and down it goes. Aaron Kyle came out of nowhere, number 25, just missed getting Hart, and Hart just slammed the ball down into the rug. Cardinals put it in play 1st and 10 on their own 27-yard line. Staubach to Anthony Dorsett, and he gets out across the 35-yard line and bulls his way to the 40. And a handoff to Dorsett. The Cardinals trying to bring him down, and they can't. And they have to have a team meeting before they can get him down across the 45.
Look at
Golden Richards in a slot right, inside Drew Pearson. Staubach, play action fake to Dorsett, setting up and looking. Under a rush, throws it away.
Oh, they're not going to let him get away with that, are they?
Mike Dawson and Bob Bell were all over him, and an angry crowd here. The ball on the Dallas 47-yard line. Richards is left, Drew Pearson right. And Roger fumbles. It's picked up by Charlie Davis. He's to the 10, to the 5, and scores. Charlie Davis out of TCU. There's a flag down on the 5-yard line.
And Mike Dawson was in a fight with the official. Someone pushed him, it was official, and he turned to swing at him.
Make your own minds up on this, you Dallas fans, whether Roger Staubach's arm had gone forward. If so, it was a bad call by the officials. He's in the attempt of passing, and his arm is moving forward. He shakes it loose right there, and it looked like to me that it was a very questionable call.
Back in there with Newhouse. Play action fake, and he's dragged down by Mike Dawson, who came out of nowhere.
Oh. Look at those Cardinals. They are charged up, aren't they?
The Cowboys, 16. Staubach to the right side to Butch Johnson. Lee Nelson pushes him out of bounds at the 39-yard line of Dallas. Saldi and Dupree are the tight ends. Dorsett, and he has gotten the first down as he exploded by Mike Dawson. Man out of the eye. Staubach to Dorsett.
Look at
and
that.
He gets across midfield, and I don't know how.
Did indeed pick that up. Watch the block of number 44, Bob Newhart, on the linebacker, kicking outside on Kenny Reeves. And look at the acceleration right here. How gracious. You know, you can't make me believe that an offensive line won't block a little bit harder for a guy with his ability, with Tony Dorsett's ability and explosiveness.
And they're a tight end along with Billy Joe Dupree. And here comes Newhouse. And he fights his way for the first down. He got across the 45-yard line handily. 43-yard line, Drew Pearson wide right. A play-action fake to Dorsett. And Staubach going for the bomb to Pearson. He can't get it. Lee Nelson for the umpteenth time. The unknown soldier made the play, but there's a flag down there in the end zone.
Shades of Minnesota a few years ago in desperation when Roger Staubach cranked it up.
Here it is.
And you'll see the interference. He's lost sight of the ball altogether and just went ahead and played the man. That is obvious pass interference by Lee Nelson.
That is a 43-yard penalty going against the Cardinals. And Dorsett. Dorsett.
What a ball.
Anthony Dorsett goes flying through for his second touchdown of the day, his fourth touchdown of the year, and of course the crowd still angry over the pass interference call that set it up. The Cardinals 24 and the Cowboys 23. We'll return to Bush Memorial Stadium after this word from your local station. Holy. That's Metcalf going to pass. Now he's going to run. And he's to the 20 and almost to the 25. Is that remarkable?
Can he take a busted play and make the most of it?
Line. They lead by 1, 12 and a half left. And it's Wayne Morris being dragged down by D.D. Lewis shy of the 20-yard line. In a moment. It is 3rd and 9 from the 19. Hart, under some pressure, flips it out, and it's caught right on the 29-yard line by Ike Harris. From the 29-yard line, Mel Gray to the right. Wayne Morris trying to find Metcalf block, and he does, and he gets out to the 40-yard line. Very close. In fact, I believe that's a first down. Big rush, and down goes Hart. Harvey Martin had him on the 30-yard line, and Aaron Kyle went flying over the top.
And that's what they're doing now to combat that. They've been double-teaming Harvey Martin with a line, keeping him back in the backfield, and that time...
2nd and 6 from the 37. Staubach going to Drew Pearson, and he just did do a toe dance and caught it. Lee Nelson unable to break it up. Dorsett, he ran into a group, and the group is led by Dawson, number 73, a two-year man out of Arizona, 38. Pearson right, Butch Johnson left. And Staubach throwing it high and deep, and Roger Worley breaks it up and rolled everything. They're going to call a penalty.
Oh,
that is not going to be received well here in Busch Stadium, is it? Make up your mind. Roger Staubach just decided to go for the bomb all of a sudden. You never can figure this guy. He throws it up there and lets old Drew Pearson run under it. It's underthrown, as you see, and I guess if the penalty was on anybody, it'd be Roger Worley, and it might be for unnecessary roughness rather than pass interference. That right elbow of his might have... Yeah, you might could call it.
You might. And it was. Lee Nelson was down there with him, but it's 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 12. And Golden Richards wide right. Dorsett and Newhouse, the running backs. Staubach flipping it down for Golden Richards. And he's got it. Touchdown. He took it away from Lee Nelson.
Nelson just turned his back on it, never found the ball at all. And what a beautiful play by Roger Staubach, and the adjustment on the football by Golden Richards. Gracious, that was pretty. You just got to be lucky. As you see, Lee Nelson never finds the ball, and a great adjustment by Golden Richards.
So it's a 17 with 6:53 to go in the game. The Cowboys 30 and the Cardinals 24. Herrera kicks it down to the left side, picked up by Metcalf, fumble. Terry's got it again at the 15 to the 20, gets away from Henderson to the 35, spinning at the 40 and goes down across the 40. Scott Laidlow along with Jay Saldy, and Hart's going to send it up. A little release to Morris at the 40, to the 45, and knocked down at the 47-yard line. A big mix-up as Cliff Harris and D.D. Lewis finally knocked him off balance. And Wayne Morris has nowhere to go.
No, sir. Absolutely nowhere to go.
Hart gets it off deep to his man Kane, and he got it inside the 20-yard line. He beat Mel Renfro by coming back. Hart fakes once, goes high and over Kane. They're claiming interference. It will not be called. J.V. Kane thought that Charlie Waters, number 41, had interfered, but they didn't call it. Furious charge, he throws it, and it's intercepted by Cliff Harris, and Terry Metcalf missed the tackle, and he finally goes down at the 10-yard line. Cliff Harris Staubach going for Drew Pearson. He's all alone. And Drew Pearson being chased by Mike Sensabaugh. He's gone.
Do you believe that? You just don't know about Roger Staubach.
There is a flag on the play, however. Way down by the end zone, a flag on the play.
Who in the world would have thought up that play? Now, Tom Landry had something to say about it, I'm sure, because of that, them huddling over there, but you just don't know about Roger.
90 yards down the drain on that. It's against Dallas. Field, another tight end to block for Staubach. Roger from the end zone. Throwing, and is it complete? No good. Intended for Drew Pearson, but he was out of bounds.
Defense roughing the passer.
Charged against Mike Dawson. Roughing the passer against Dawson. What a crusher that is.
Once again, the lack of experience. Second-year man Mike Dawson. Spinning off the block there. And there could well have been. He'll learn in time. Gracious at her.
It is Dorsett. He just went leaping over Charlie Davis, who was on the ground, number 76, to pick up the yards. And break when the penalty against Cooper, and a bad break the penalty against Dawson. 3rd and 2 from the 29. Here comes Dorsett. A great play by Kenny Reeves, the strong safety. Robert Newhouse tried to get Kenny Reeves out of there, and number 36 wouldn't budge and tied it up. They're coming. No. And Danny White gets it away off to the right side and out of bounds, and we'll see where they spot it. The first look, it will put the Cardinals in pretty good field position.
Still plenty of time. There's 1 minute and 2 seconds. And
one. The backs stay in to block. And Hart needs the blocking and finally gets it down to the right side, and it's going to be intercepted, intended for Mel Gray, and it was Charlie Waters, number 41, who made the interception.
Well, there you go.
Victorious. They'll be 4-0, and the Cardinals suffer perhaps a mortal defeat. 1-3, but what a showdown. The Cardinals led 10-3. The Cardinals led 17-13 at the half. The Cardinals led 24-16 at the end of 3 quarters. But 2 touchdowns in the 4th period for Dallas, and the Cardinals lose it as a great Dallas ball club hangs on to win it 30-24.
When the St. Louis Cardinals meet the Dallas Cowboys, look for a shootout, not a shutout. Terry Metcalf's 62-yard streak had the Redbirds flying higher than an inverted spike of the football. But the Cowboys now have an antidote for the Metcalf magic, and his name is Tony Dorsett. Dorsett's 77-yarder was the longest ever by a Cowboy runner. And in all, touchdown Tony picked up 141 yards on only 14 carries. But the Cards bounced back with a kind of explosion St. Louis fans have grown accustomed to in recent years. Jim Hart to Mel Gray, 60 yards and a touchdown. The kind that might break some teams, but not the Cowboys of Roger Staubach. A contortionist catch by Golden Richards assured the Cowboys' stature as the NFC's only undefeated team. 3 full games ahead of the now 4th-place Cardinals in the NFC East.